In our throwaway world, a plastic bag outlives its usefulness after around 15 minutes. A plastic bottle might last a little longer. Party balloons, a whole occasion. But the ocean likes to hang on to these discarded treasures for decades, even centuries, giving many other consumers a taste for plastic. These plastic delicacies are fed to shearwater chicks by their parents, who mistake floating rubbish for fish.
Are you kidding?
I am not.
175 pieces of plastic, including bottle tops, balloon ties, and a doll's arm. But this is not a story about a bird species in trouble, nor is it the story of some littering Lord Howe locals. What we're seeing here is a world problem so severe it's hard to fathom. It's estimated 3.5 million pieces of new plastic enter the world's oceans daily. Carried on global currents, they accumulate in huge circulating gyres, causing countless injuries to marine life along the way.
That's a global issue. We're finding plastics in seabirds all around Australia. It's happening on our own shores and with our own breeding populations around here as well. Where is it coming from? What's the overall impact on wildlife? Where is it going to? Understanding the sources and sinks of that marine debris is a really big question still.
Plastics don't biodegrade, but over many years in the sun and elements, they break down into smaller and smaller pieces until they're so small, they're hard to see.
Look on any beach in the tide line and you're likely to find hundreds of these tiny little pieces of plastic. It starts to give you an inkling of just how much must be out there. But the real problem with these harmless-looking pieces is they can be ingested by animals right down at the bottom of the food chain, as far down as plankton. And that's where plastics come back to meet their maker.
The plastic itself inherently contains a wide array of chemicals that are used during the manufacturing process. When the plastic is put out into the marine environment and it floats around in the ocean for, let's say, 10 or 40 years, it really does last forever. It basically acts like a little magnet or a sponge, and it takes all the contaminants that are out there in the ocean environment that are really diluted in the ocean water, and it concentrates it onto the surface. Plastic itself has up to 1,000 times a higher concentration of contaminants on its surface than the surrounding seawater from which it came. And when the animal, whether it's a turtle or a seabird, takes that into their body, those contaminants leach out into the bloodstream and is incorporated into the tissues.
As one predator eats another, contaminants biomagnify. This means the most vulnerable animal to the effects of toxic plastic contamination is the one at the very top of the food chain, us.
Okay, we're all ready to go.
Next step, Africa. So you may see when we drag our trawls across the ocean surface, we come up with maybe 1 teaspoon of plastic for a trawl that's going 2 miles by that much distance. It might not seem like much, but this ocean is vast. Our planet is 2/3 ocean. So that thin strip that we're sieving, that 1 tablespoon, it's less than the edge of a razor blade on a football field. This ocean is vast. If you were to add up all those tablespoons of debris for those little transects that we trawl, it would add up to tens of thousands of tons of trash, plastic pollution floating in just this one gyre alone. And there are 4 more in the world. It's not just this one little island of trash, this mythical island of trash off the coast of California.
What we're doing with 5 gyres and with Algalita is simply looking at the distribution of plastic. I mean, we take a manta trawl, we skim the surface of the ocean, we count pieces of plastic in a lab, and we share the results.
soon as it comes out of the river mouth or the sewage outfall pipe or whatever and goes into the ocean, it's plastic in the ocean. The gyres simply are just machines driven by weather that create a circle that collects it. Gyres are natural phenomenons.
And beyond 200 miles of most countries is international water, no man's land. I'm part of a society that does not take responsibility for its own waste.
Look at that. Wow, that's a lot.
So the routine begins. Day and night, wind and waves, trawl in, trawl out. Our staggered shifts never quite set. 3 groups rotating 24 hours a day. A dinner shift previous means a 4-hour watch starts sharp at 2 a.m. in a cold night.
Let's see what's in the high speed.
Ooh, it's perfect for Chelsea's Texas analysis. Can I see? Okay.
Like other gyres, there are there's a west and east areas of concentration. All these dots here, that's where we've been so far. We're going to end up hitting all these. This is nuts.
This is nuts?
This is nuts.
I know, I'm surprised Dale is letting you do this. This is nuts that we're trawling in this. This is like trawling in the hurricane. Marcus is a wild man.
Don't lose a...
What?
Don't want to lose a data point. I mean, we had a 600-mile gap in the North Atlantic.
That's because we went through a hurricane.
Yeah, we should have kept trawling.
The philosophy that there is an away, that, we say we throw something away, that you can create something to be used for a minute that lasts forever is evil, in my opinion. What I think needs to happen with companies that produce plastic is, in the whole scope of the product's impact, they need to calculate for its environmental impact economically.
Ooh! This was the Manta, not the high speed, so this is actually a research sample.
It's the sea state coming down, huh?
Yeah, it was pretty calm. It was about a 2 or 3 today.
There's a nurdle!
Yep.
We have nurdle!
We crossed the North Pacific Gyre from Hawaii back to Los Angeles, and I still expected to see an island of garbage the size of Texas. So this was a real eye-opener for me, seeing that the issue is really difficult to see. So that inspired Marcus and I to start the 5 Gyres Institute with the goal of expanding that research on plastic in the North Pacific, which people are starting to know about, to all 5 oceans.
There we go, that's a big chunk. Let's go get it.
10 feet. Wow, we're in the big stuff now.
I don't think the best use of our time is to come out into the middle of an oceanic gyre and clean it up. I think the best use of our time is to stop letting it out into the ocean.
Yeah, I see something big out there.
After World War II, when we started making all of these single-use plastics, nobody was thinking about the environmental nightmare that might come out of it. They were thinking more about the convenience and sanitation and health. Think about all of the medical equipment that is made out of plastic. So I think now, we need to take a step back.
Remember, maybe a letter? All right, this is just got serious.
Yeah, swim back here, Marcus. I look at Marcus's stunt works as good for the cause. I like that he has the courage as a trained scientist to actually be an activist as well.